He says, if we seek him and call on him and pray to him, he'll listen. He will listen. He cares about the cries of our heart. He already knows. He already knows what you're thinking, how you feel. What he wants, though, is the relationship with you. What if you know your wife loves you, you know your mom and dad love you, but what if they never told you? Doesn't mean they didn't love you. You know, a lot of the boomers grew up that way. World War II generation, they weren't real big on telling the kids, I love you. But my dad always says, I knew my dad loved me because he provided for me. But we didn't have the same kind of relationship as me and you. Same with my mom and dad, and my mom. They were a little bit closer, a little bit more of a loving family, but it was different still. I tell my parents I love them every day. I tell my friends I love them every day. I mean, I make it weird. I'm like, dog, I love you so much. I just want everything great for you, But that's the truth. So the thing is he wants us to pray to him, not because he doesn't know, but because he wants that relationship. How like, if you like somebody, you're like, God, I hope they call me. It's the same thing. He's like, I hope they call me today. I want to talk to her. She's one of my best friends, He says, if you seek me and find me, you will when you do it with all your heart. I mean, if you're really looking for the Lord, he's right there. He's literally right there. He's just waiting for you to be like, hey, where you at? Here I am. Been waiting on you to call. I'm not even going to let it ring twice. All your heart, though. All your heart. You can't go half in, half out. You can't have 1 foot in the world, 1 foot out here. I'm going your way, and I want to know what it is, and I'm going to just earnestly get to know you and learn about you and love you, and I'm going to call you every day. He'll be there. That's all our hearts, though. We got to have the faith that he's going to do it, and we got to believe completely, and we have to give our hearts to him, not just salvation hearts, our will, our decisions, our obedience, our pride, our humility. We got to go in clear eyes, full heart. Clear eyes, full heart, can't lose. Am I right? That's what he wants. Okay? So the thing is that I was telling my friend the other day, my dad was preaching on Moses, probably about a month or so ago. And the whole thing was, he went up the mountain, came back down, told him the rules, and God was saying, I'm going to do this, this, and this. If you're obedient. See, it all goes back to being obedient. You got to be obedient. What is God's will? To do what he said. To do what he said. That's God's will. Just do what he said. And then everything will come about. That's it. Do exactly what he said to do. And you're going to have to give up a lot of things. Almost everything. You will. You will have to give up almost every worldly desire that is in all of us. But if you do, he will bless you, but you got to obey him. He says in John 14:15, verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I shall do, he do also. And greater works than these he shall do. Okay, so let's get into that real fast. A lot of people believe, and it can be very misconstrued, especially in certain denominations. They take that as to mean, well, Jesus performed miracles, so can I. He raised somebody from the dead, so can I. No, that's not what he means. I take it as greater works than you will do than these, as in, I'm only here for 3 years, right? And I'm able to get this done. You're going to have a bigger, larger influence than I did, because you're going to be around and you're going to be obeying that first commandment of go and spread the word and make disciples. That's the way I take it. Whatever you ask in my name, that I will do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. Another verse taken completely out of context all the time. Whatever we ask in his name, I will do. A lot of people like to cut that off. And they're like, well, God, I want a new car. And I want to be healed from cancer right now. No, you got to read the rest of the verse. That the Father may be glorified in the Son. What if it's not his will to heal you? That's crossed my mind. And I was telling my friend that the other day. Maybe that's not his will. Maybe his will is something else. But if that leads one person to Christ, did he accomplish his will? He did. And the Father will get the glory for it. From your sufferings, right? And like it says, I believe Peter says, and I'm not sure, take pride in the suffering because know that you are now sharing in the suffering of Christ. Like, he suffered because he was taking on all the sins of the world from the devil. We're suffering because we live in a fallen world. So we're sharing in suffering. And not like, we didn't get crucified or anything, but, there's no emotion that he has never felt that we feel. I know that sounds real strange. You're like, there's no way. Yes, there is a way. He lived a perfect life as a human on earth, the only one that never sinned. But in those 3 hours of darkness, he experienced every emotion, bad, good, everything. And that's why he shouted out, my God, why have you forsaken me? Can you imagine all of the darkness that came on him? You know what I mean? But he did it anyways. He could have just jumped off of there. Right? Just went, all cuts gone. Anyway, let me patch my hand up. Anyways, we're good. But he didn't. So if you ask in his name, he will do it. If you are asking for godly things, that's not asking, give me this, he's not a genie. What he's saying, if you ask for fruits of the Spirit, love, joy, peace, strength, endurance, a good spirit, there's so many more, I forgot, but those, wisdom, if you ask for those things, he will give it to you. That is 100% true. That's what he wants us to be asking for. That's why, you say, Lord, we should pray, thy will be done here on earth as in heaven. We should pray not that God gives us what we want, but that God gives us his desires for what he wants for our lives. That's a hard thing, right? Because sometimes we want things that ain't his desire, but we're human and we're like, but I want it. And he's like, no, thank you. So we need to be praying, what are your desires, Lord? Make me want those. Ask me to ask for those. And you can get into the personal things later, but the number one things you should ask for straight off the gate is the fruits of the Spirit. If you're a new Christian, ask for those and you're starting off pretty good. And he will do it. He'll give them to you, He says, if you love me, keep my commandments. And I will pray to the Father, and he shall give you another comforter, Holy Spirit, and he may abide with you forever. So let's get into that.